Come on!
You know how to drive this thing?
No. So let's go.
That makes two of us. Oh my God. Two of us. Oh my God.
Here we go! Yeah. So with all your careers, because we don't say career, it's like multi-careers, what's the common thread here for you?
Woman empowerment.
Yeah?
I think the fact that I grew up with a lot of women in my family, and I kind of am like the perpetual girl group member.
Right.
I went from 3LW first girl group to Cheetah Girls, another girl group, and technically the Real is my third girl group.
Gosh.
But I work really well with women, and I think that's because I love women. I think that we're amazing. I think we're incredible, and there's nothing like women uplifting other women.
So as we were saying, what's it like for you? What does Latina mean for you?
Okay, to me, being Latina means I just feel like we bring this energy. I feel like we're like, you know, life is a big fiesta.
Right.
We're hard workers. I love the saying from the Hamilton show that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote, which is immigrants, we get the job done. I believe that we are some of the most hardworking people. I believe that as women, we are super passionate.
Yeah.
But we are passionate about everything we do, including our work. If we put our minds to something, we can make anything happen.
That's very cool. Now, what's it like being a Latina professional?
Being a Latina professional, I have always, like I said, I just have this orgullo and this pride of being Latina, that it's always almost been like at the forefront of what I do. So I've never hidden the fact that I'm Latina. Some people have asked me, well, how has it held you back? It has never held me back at all. I actually think it's what's opened the doors for me, because we need diversity, we need representation, and I just feel so proud to be able to represent my people on a platform like The Real, like being the first Latina in daytime, which I can't believe.
I cannot believe it.
While I was super honored to be the first Latina, I was sad. I was like, wow, 2013, like this is the first time. I felt like it felt super delayed.
It's so funny. I'm an executive at the studio, and I don't think there's a lot of us executives at my level. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, look at me.
It's
quite
like
the opposite.
We need more.
We need more, right?
Yes, absolutely, we need more. And I think just as a Latina professional, especially in entertainment, I do feel that weight, but it's that good weight. It's the weight that makes me do the right things, that makes me want to strive for more, makes me want to work harder, because I know that there's a whole other generation that will see a show like The Real, that'll watch Cheetah Girls and be like, wow, if Adrienne Bailon could do it, so can I.
Right. Now, did you ever in your career encounter that common stereotyping of being Latina in the workplace?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, even when they're like, okay, throw some Spanish in here, and you're like, okay, I get it. I'll be like, vamos,
muy bien,
mi
muy
gente,
bien.
like, you know, but at the same time, you can take that as a negative thing, or you can twist it to work for the positive.
That's how I see it as well.
And that's how I see it. I'm like, well, at least they want me to throw a little Spanish in here. People can relate to that. So I would always take moments like that and make it something to be proud of, instead of being offended or being like, well, that's very stereotypical. I'm like, well, then let's make the stereotype cool.
Right.
And let's represent ourselves really well.
Yeah, I mean, I've encountered myself in these situations, and I've always kind of bounced off of it as well. I think humor always works.
Yes, turn it into something positive.
Yeah, it's always been positive.
Get a good laugh.
Hey, so speaking of which, so what kind of changes would you like to see in Latin representation in our industry?
I would love to see more diversity.
I agree.
Not just diversity and like, oh, we need more Latinos, but we need more diversity amongst the Latinos.
I agree.
There isn't one type of Latina, there isn't one type of Latino. So for me, even on The Real, like, I'm like, okay, I'm representing Latinas, but but I would hate for them to think like, well, this is everybody. No, I definitely am. I'm a New Yorican. I'm first generation in this
Mexican,
country.
Portuguese, the same thing.
Totally different
I
cultures.
live in Miami. It's like Latin is a very broad term. I oversee Latin America, and I'm engaged with Argentinos, Venezuelanos, Colombians, Ecuadorianos,
different cultures, different foods.
And you know what the beauty is? I get to engage every day in a multi-diverse cultural environment. It really is cool.
So awesome.
And I love that. I really do. So I can start a sentence in English. y luego terminarlo en español.
Ay, me encanta
which is
eso,
so
yeah.
typical, so typical.
And
right?
even our Spanish is different. The dialects are different. The slangs are different.
Yep.
We need to see more Afro-Latinos.
I agree.
There are just so many things. So I love it when people say, oh, she looks Latina. I want to go, well, what does a Latina look like?
Right.
Because there are so many different things. When I used to go on auditions and my agent would tell me, they're looking for a Latina, I would joke around and go, okay, what kind of Latina are they looking for? Are they looking for, hola, yo soy Latina? Are they looking for like, hey, I'm Latina? What exactly are we looking for?
Well, so in what ways are you contributing to this cause? Your Besos Care packages, you're with everything else you got going on, I should be driving, huh? With everything else you got going on, you are giving to the community. Why is that so important for you?
I think that goes back to my roots and the way that I was raised. I was really raised to look out for other people, to help one another. Again, that goes back to the concept of familia.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we all need a helping hand.
Sure.
Somebody has helped me along the way, and I just want to be able to pass that on to someone else.
Yeah.
I even appreciate you having this chat with me. I think that
I'm honored.
somebody is always there helping one another.
I agree.
Having a conversation like this will hopefully help somebody that watches it.
Agree.
So from your perspective,
Yep.
what are some of the changes you want to see in our field?
Sure. I mean, like you were saying, look, I grew up in a very humble setting. I never had a dad. And to your
Where
point.
did you grow up?
So I grew up, I born in San Diego, raised in Mexico, came back to Southern California. I lived in an agricultural community. So I was surrounded by a lot of Latinos, and they were all, immigrants from Mexico, Central America, etc. And I was always treated like a second-class citizen, and I thought it was so wrong, and I always wanted to change that.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, I put a spin on it. I was always just trying to evolve, I guess.
Yeah.
And I always found father figures. I always found someone that was willing to help. And in turn, I did the same.
That's what it's
so
about.
Now, exactly. And fast forward professionally, I got to this place thanks to, folks that believed in me.
Yeah.
And, I guess I proved myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I was lucky, right?
Clearly you did.
Right.
I don't believe in luck. I feel like it definitely is preparation meets opportunity.
Absolutely.
And I heard Oprah say that once, and I was like, that is so true. If you are prepared, and then an opportunity, the door opens, and you are ready, that's what it's all about.
Right. So here at the studio, there's a ton of communities.
Yeah.
And one of them is a Latino community.
Yes.
It's called Unidos. And these communities are great because it gives a sense of belonging. So we have like 450
members?
We have about 450 members here.
And am I one of the 450 members? I want to be a part of Unidos.
It's really cool because it is about personal development. It is about outreach programs. We even help out internally in business focus groups.
So great.
So it's a way of networking, more importantly, right? So you've got a lot of up and comers that we need to expose them. So I always say if we're hiring to fill that position, we should look from within our organizations. We just need to figure out a way of looking from within. So I believe that these communities serve as a way of networking, getting to know outside of the silos we work in, right? So that's what I do. So on your show, as co-host, what are the easiest and the toughest part of your job?
I feel like one of the biggest challenges in my job, while being honest and giving my opinion is the best parts, it's also the hardest parts because I've got to deal with how people feel about my opinions and about my honesty. So you kind of have to have thick skin that like everybody isn't going to love what you have to say. But at the same time, I'm always open to learning.
That's how I feel.
And I think that's what I love about the conversations at The Real is that if somebody has an opposing opinion, one, we always respect what they have to say, and two, there's something that I could learn from that.
Yeah, very genuine. I love it.
Thank you.
You're terrific. So the takeaway, when young Latino women see your businesses, your content are connected to you, what do you want them to take away?
Work really hard and then invest in yourself.
Estoy totalmente de acuerdo.
Invest in your education.
Total.
Invest your time into what it is that you want to do. Los sueños que tú tienes, like whatever it is that are your biggest dreams, that's what you want to go after, and that anything is possible.
I agree.
Anything is possible with hard work, determination, anything is possible.
I'm always telling kids, be proud of who you are.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it. Quite the opposite, right?
And being authentically
That's
who
exactly
you are
right.
will open so many doors for you.
I agree.
Because I think, especially now, when you look at things like YouTube and social media, people are getting platforms just based off of being who they are. There's someone out there that can relate. So I think that that's one of the greatest things about this next generation.
I love it. I love it. Oye, Adrienne, estoy tan encantado.
Gracias.
Love being here with
placer.
you. My daughter says hello.
I can't wait to meet her.
Oh, she's great.
We got to make it happen.
Well, let's make it happen.
I love that.
Besitos.
Mwah.